What's up YouTube, Mr. Lemissy here, and today I want to make a Blood Boil guided playthrough. Now, this is coming on the backs of patch 3.2, which actually fixed the Blood Boil and Fire Tainted synergy. So there was used to be 30%, now 20% synergy of Blood Boil damage being added to Summon Tainted. However, it wasn't working, and so now it is working. And so I want to kind of play through that because I know for an endgame build it's very strong, but I kind of want to see how it plays along the way. So let's jump into it. This is, of course, the Warlock, who's had a few little changes here and there. Again, most notably for this build is going to be this synergy now works. And so this will be kind of our focus, summon Tainted into Blood Boil, and then getting some demonic mastery early on. So let's go ahead. We're on Players 8. Players 8 is just easier for leveling up when you're starting out there. But if you're online or on, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have Players 8 because I'm playing online, so I can't do anything. It's like, it's the same thing. It's just slower, right? Like, if you're on Players 8, it just allows you to kind of max out this idea where you can get more experience when you're stronger. And so, like, that's it. That's all that there really is there. Now, I think this build will actually play pretty straight up, I imagine. Because we're probably just going to go right into Demonic Mastery until we get down to Summon Tainted. And then eventually into Blood Boil over there. And remember that at the hard points of 1, 5, and 10... that is, or I guess just 5 and 10 is the main thing. That is the maximum demons that you can have. So, we want to get, probably for starting purposes, up to the 5 or the 10 on Demonic Mastery. I guess 1 isn't really necessary. You always get the 1. So 5 and 10 is when you get your second and your third, which gives us, again, just enough time where we could probably do that. And I'll go ahead and just kill a little bit more and get a tiny bit of gold. The starting point in Miasma Bolt is very strong. If you want to be even faster with this build, you could technically start with just running fire or magic, and that'll be a little bit faster. But we're gonna, because this is a guided playthrough for the Tainted and everything like that, I always try when I'm playing these to not just play always the fastest build, but play through what I think is like, more thematic with it. So we are still on P8 here. If you want to swap down to P1 for the den, you totally can. But try and just get a little bit more experience again. You're just doing goats with Blood Boil to start, and then you'll swap over. Yeah, and that also totally works. I mean, again, you could play, there are many ways to play these builds, which is the nice thing. So you could play early goats. You could play, waiting on Blood Boil till later on. You can play starting with magic and then speccing into Blood Boil and like Nightmare, or when you hit level 18. Like there's a large variety. It just kind of depends what you're going for with it a little bit. Okay, so we got another point there. We'll just put more into Demonic Mastery, work towards those 5 points. Then we could have 2 goats. Nice and easy. A99's on ladder. Yeah, there's a couple 99s on ladder now. Yi hit his 99 yesterday, and the boosting service RMT site also hit their 99. So hopefully Blizzard goes and removes that one again. But we'll see. When an RMT site, yeah, is there, it's just meh. Yeah, that's the service one. It's a Chinese RMT site. Were they legit 99? I mean, who knows? I would say if you're an RMT site, you're probably not legit no matter what. Like, they probably have a bunch of bots, right? And such. Like, RMT sites just do have that stuff because they're selling all the items and things. So, you know, they're getting all their gear from bunches of bots. They're probably buying things, whatever they don't have. Like, I wouldn't say it's legit. I'm also not sure there was any sleep whatsoever in their push. Whether that means it was a single person boost blasting, whether there was a the account share on it, who knows, right? So I wouldn't call it legit, personally. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, perfect. So we'll stack up on some of these. We'll get some more demonic mastery. I know the latest Jin Jin video's out. I almost watched it this morning. These are also really good packs. So something that, you know, I should probably note in guided playthroughs and stuff. Boss packs are worth 500% experience. Is season 14 dead? No. So obviously this would be more helpful if I had like more points in Miasma Bolt or something. But even with just these, you can see, just like, watch my experience. And I am already level 5, so I'm already pretty leveled up. But if you watch my experience bar when this guy like dies here, they're worth like almost 2 bars a pop, even at level 5. So coming out and farming these guys can be a great way to pick up a little experience. They just can sometimes take a little bit, especially when you're not like spec'd exactly for them. Okay, now I'm actually going to put 1 more point into Demonic Mastery so I can get a second Goatman. We will want Deathmark and we will want Blood Oath. So those will be like next points. But right now, grab some juicy experience, even if it takes a tiny bit of time. Cool. Okay. Gained like more than an entire level from that pack. Is season 14 dead by now? I mean, I wouldn't say it's dead at all. Like, there's still going to be plenty of people playing and stuff. And we'll continue with Vitality. Guides playthrough, not a speedrun, so no rush needed. Exactly. Just starting out with Vitality is nice. I will grab this shrine. And again, the +1 to Miasma Bolt is like just enough early on to be useful, you know? It's not super crazy, but it's powerful enough. You can kill some stuff with it. Now, Rakanishu is also a fantastic farm. One of my favorite places if I just want to level to like level 12 really quickly or something. I'll just kill Rakanishu over and over again. And you can take them all the way up to like level 14 if you're on Player's 8 or whatever, and it's still pretty good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and grab points in Blood Oath. Blood Oath, of course, just increases life of demons, resist, physical damage reduction, and then also makes it so your damage taken is a little bit less. Some of that will go to the demon instead. So just helpful for survivability. Get our second demon back up. And let's go find the waypoint. Hopefully it's close, but we'll see what happens. If it's not close at all, then you can kind of make that determination like, okay, maybe I just won't farm it as much. It's, you know, complete opposite sides. But what can also be nice in the Stony Field is you can just get tons and tons and tons of experience shrines. So that can be really useful. Yeah, I mean, that's just it, Joe. There's just a demand. Some people want to buy items enough that all those sites can exist and profit. Where's the waypoint? It's like the last spot I haven't looked, but I feel like I did actually. Huh. Up tucked around behind here. Ah, yes. Okay.
Good day.
All right, so we'll go back to Stony Field. We'll summon our goats. And we'll go back for Rakanishu. Again, I'm just doing this on Player's 8 right now. Do I have a favorite build or play style? I'd say casters are my favorite, just overall. Or like archers. Maybe archers are my favorite. Okay, we'll get a point in Deathmark. Deathmark, of course, good for marking an enemy. It teleports your minions to said enemy, but additionally, then they get damage increased by 5 and magic damage increase, and the person you mark gets minus defense. So it's just a nice little combo.
Good day.
Hello.
That is very weird, Zug. I don't know. I write all the Icy Veins guides, so those are the guides that I can speak to. One to levitation mastery, sure. Yo, murder with the 1,000, thank you.
Let's go.
I have a soft spot for barbs. I do. I like barbs. I generally like the standard more. I like barbarians who can just be like big ol' boys that go in and just slowly kind of melee stuff down, but are like tanky boys. I enjoy that fight. I enjoy your sorcerer, like casting from afar and running around. And I enjoy your bows. Those are the 3 things that I enjoy the most. Very simple, I would say. So generally, like druids and assassins and these characters that get into all this like other stuff are not on my list as much of my like favorite builds. But I will say I have enjoyed the Warlock. I think the Warlock's done a solid job. What's the best Zon build for controller right now? Oh. I mean, I don't know with controller exactly. I feel like I don't know how well like throwing. I feel like bows are maybe a little too much for controller. If throwing is fine, then Lightning Fury for sure. It's just a solid build overall. If throwing is awkward, then I would run just like Charge Strike, Lightning Strike. But I imagine Lightning Fury. And I've done, you know, Lightning Fury guided playthrough before, and it's so powerful. Act 3 Hell is the only thing that's rough. Throwing ambos are fine, no awkwardness. Okay, good. So, yeah, seems like you can run any of them. I mean, Lightning Fury is going to be your strongest, for sure. Okay, we got more skill points, so we'll just keep going Demonic Mastery. We're going to be 1 point short. I'll have to do Radament or something to make it up. Okay. We're level 10. That feels fine enough. Let's go ahead and go forward. Again, you can level there as much or as little as you would like. And you can always remember that for anywhere in this game, especially when you start hitting like hard spots, that can be really useful. You know, I was kind of thinking about when I play a lot of new games, I don't really spend much time farming. And I was wondering why, because I'm like, farming is such a nice thing, right? To just go back and grind a little and pick up a few levels. But I think a lot of it is because it feels unnecessary on new games. It's like the games are built where you don't need to go back and farm. And so when you are going back and farm, it's just because you've like built the character wrong, or you didn't buy a piece of gear that you needed, or some, you know, you didn't craft the right thing. Something like that. I don't know exactly. No, you can shop them still at 93. It'll be fine. A little bit longer. How many characters do I have through Hell? Day 4, is it? I mean, not many there, because I'm not doing a lot. Like, we could have a ton if we wanted to.
Keep up the great work, smile.
Thanks, ST. Level? Yeah, so we're going to be just shy. But level 12, we'll probably jump into the Tainted. Maybe. Maybe I should go one more Demonic Mastery. That's a tough choice. Oh, I guess we're 2 away from it, so never mind. Never mind. Hey, Muzzle. Okay. So, again, you'll note that I'm mostly aiming at the boss mobs, just because there's so much more experience for them. With a skill shrine, we actually. Oh no, it's hard points. That's right. Tried Uber Ancients. He was not ready for it. Uber Ancients are no joke. Uber Ancients have been souped up. They are nutty. It's great. I love that, like, they put in a real tough fight there. Yeah, it's an extra step up for sure. We'll do some tower runs. We want to find a stealth for our character. We're 2 away from knowing what Blizzard's next move is and then lying about it, according to the community. I don't know nothing about what's not coming to the next nothing of Diablo, okay? That's all I can tell you. Uber Ancients roll you minus 100 res. Exactly. Each one is minus 100. They have like special new auras. Nobody knows what that was. Attack rating, don't need 9 to mana is nice. Early mana is always useful. And we'll just pick up a few more potions. We actually can go up to 25 strength. I generally like to do that around like level 10, 11, 12, something like that. Everything else vitality for life. And that's just so we can wear a bigger belt a little bit later on. Plus there's a few pieces of gear that could be used with like 20 to 25 strength in there. Champions are worth 300% experience, but tanky champions like that are just not quite as great. Definitely not under another NDA. I mean, look, I'm probably under some NDAs still for whatever things. Like, I've got more knowledge on mosaic changes coming that I can't share. Like what they're gonna plan to do, you know. But maybe something else small, but otherwise, I mean, I don't know much. All right, we have Tainteds now. Let's go ahead and swap into a couple Tainteds. See how they do. Is Blood Boil superior to Demon Warlock in every way? I mean, Blood Boil is a Demon Warlock, but yes, it's a stronger Demon Warlock. Do you think there's potential for PvP Diablo to get more popularity? I feel like they'd have to give some love to it, you know? Like, create a dedicated arena or something. Do some stuff to help it out. Yeah, I think having more Tainteds is, or more damage on these Tainteds will be better when we level up. And again, the level 1 Miasma Bolt still doing some work. Still a nice way to get a small, you know, bit of damage added in myself. We'll just continue with Vitality. Okay, let's see. 9 to 12 to 12 to 18. Oh yeah, that's a massive boost. That is a massive boost. Now remember, that damage is on the new summon ones, so you have to resummon them for that. Whenever you level up, add more points, have a skill shrine, whatever with summons. See how the goats do against Countess. Honestly, pretty similar. Maybe slightly more damage. Oh yeah, I mean, I think you should. Now, one important thing is I did kill her on players 1. You saw that I changed my players count. Oops. Changed my players count to players 1 before she died. The reason is she drops more runes on players 1. That is just what it is. So we want 2 rune words, Tal Eth and Tir Ral. The reason for both of these, Tal Eth is for stealth, Tir Ral is for leaf, which is +3 to fire skills. Tainted and Blood Boil are both fire skills. So, nice little bonuses there. Go ahead and get our summons up. Go back to players 8. And we can keep farming right here. D2 PvP always felt like a gimmick. I mean, it's like really fun, but also, yeah, it does feel like if they put some effort into it, they could make it really nice, you know? Like, some of my favorite things with PvP and D2 are actually more like lower level dueling off of, you know, gear you find around and stuff, right? Like, we want to find a 2-socket armor. Unfortunate. Would Neftir have a major or minor effect for Warlock early on? So Nadir is nice in that you get the mana per kill, but you don't really need the Cloak of Shadows, and Nadir doesn't really offer that much else outside of that, so it's not that good for this character. Okay, let's just keep bumping these guys up. Resummon them. Also in the tower, generally until level 17, you can still get experience if you're on players 8. If you're on players 1, about level 14, before it just starts not being really worth much experience at all. So just something to note when you're kind of like leveling through here and killing stuff. And whenever you're in an area, it's always a good idea to just check that. Just like be playing and see as you're playing, oh, hey, the experience is starting to fall off, right? Starting to not feel worth it very much anymore. When you ran first 99 Blizzard, do you remember your gear? I commanded to show you look like Nightwing, Fathom, Train Flips, Elders, Blitz, Rhino, Spirit Miner, Dwarf Star, COH. MCRing, what Ami? I would guess Mara's or Tal's. Oh boy, that was a long time ago, so it's hard to remember exactly. Unless I had some nice FCR source. I'd have to go back and look. Yeah, it might have been. I mean, if I wasn't running 3-piece towels, then yeah, it probably wasn't towels. Generally, you're not running towels by itself. I'd run Mara's instead. So at this point, yeah, we'll go a little more with it. And again, we go down to players 8. Definitely getting to the point where 2 more points in Mnemonic Mastery is seeming pretty good. tier Tal. And Etheral again. Not a big deal if you don't get your runes immediately, because again, this is nice farming time. So always good to remember that. You don't need to immediately have everything right here. Man, that's tough. You really want a lot of your points early on. Nightmare Helmeth to get Shaco. Helen Dariel. I don't think... Yeah, Nightmare Mephisto doesn't drop Shaco, so... Is Blood Boil even viable because of fire immunes in Hell? Blood Boil also does physical damage, so... It'll be a little worse in those instances, but should still be good. Always check your daggers. Get something nice. Was there an update for any other characters? There was not. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities. If you don't get the runes by the time you stop getting experience in the tower, which you still keep farming. Yes, I just wouldn't I would just run to Countess though. Honestly, when I get to even level 16 down here, I start just running to Countess more. Rather than stopping and killing all the stuff. You just go, okay, now it's time to just get the runes and move forward. What would someone without an NDA say about future updates? I wouldn't know. But yeah, speaking from the non-NDA'd version of myself, who knows nothing, but is just, you kind of have to put yourself into those spaces. Where you just say, okay, how would I react if I didn't know anything? And in this case, I don't know anything, so it's totally fine. I don't have anything I'm, giving away or anything. But I would definitely say, it feels like from everything that they've said, back to Players 1, there is definitely chance for there to be more updates. To other classes, to items, to other things. Could we get new content maybe? I don't know, right? I don't know what all is coming. But the way that they talk about it sounds like they are willing and hopeful to continue making content. There's the tier rune, which is nice. So you just need the Tau rune. Which, Tau rune is the easiest rune to find of all the runes here. Basically a 50% chance every time you kill Countess on Players 1.
The order welcomes you.
All trash there. Okay. You'll go the Blood Boil Demon path and respect my Goatman. I think it's going to be very fun. I've got those tabs. I'm just not using them because whenever I do guided playthroughs, I try not to use those. So that way it's like it's a brand new character. Would Fortitude negatively affect the chance to be a chance to ride lower resonance with dual plague swords? Yes. I guess, right? Like, Fortitude would make your character get hit less, if that is the question. You wish other classes were not a joke like Wind Druid? Wind Druid's not a joke at all. Wind Druid is really good, actually. Thought you were going to say, like, Skelly Mage Necro or something. Okay, yeah, we're 16 and a half already, so at this point, again, I'm going to mostly start pushing. We can kill a little bit more. Champions are definitely, like, not super worth it unless they're Champion Fallens. But, yeah, really, we just want to be killing Countess now. Continue with Vitality. And let's get a Tal Rune. Blood Boil is not that great for bosses, but the Tainted should be really good for bosses. They're going to have a lot of damage. But goats are also good for bossing. Both of those were solid boss killers. All right, there's our Tal Rune. Perfect timing. Perfect. So let's go get a 2-socket armor. We didn't find one. Well, no worries. We can just go shop one. Remember, you're looking for a gray one, not a blue one, right? Sometimes it'll be mechanics and it's magic. That doesn't work. We just want a gray. You can also shop a 2-open socket helm if you don't have one there. Whatever other points. That was Players 8 Countess, but she spawned as Players 8, but I changed her to Players 1 before I killed her. Thus, she ended up as Players 1 overall. And so she drops more runes. So for her, item drops. So stealth, faster unwalk, faster cast rate, hit recovery, all good. And then leaf will be tier Ral. That'll be level 19. So we'll just have to get a 2-open socket staff. Again, gray. This is blue right here. Mechanics. That's bad. We don't want that. So go in and out of town, shopping, again mechanics. There we go, nice and cheap. Perfect. What do you change? What level do you change Warlock build? What build should I do? What do you suggest isn't fire the best for leveling? Yes, this is not the fastest leveling build. Playing magic and fire is going to be faster. If you want the fastest leveling Warlock, go to Icy Veins and literally go to the fast, like the Warlock, and then there's a guide that's fastest Warlock leveling build, and you can follow that step by step. Our custom gift sub badge is a new thing. I don't know. You know, next point goes to Blood Boil, so yeah, let's do this. We definitely want to pick up all the books, because if we can get a book with, like, darn, nice stuff, that could be really good. This is better than what we have. So it does give us a sigil. Some more death mark, which is okay. Increase the damage by 9, CF5. If you change player settings after spawning the monster, it keeps the HP, but the drops will change. The drops will change to whatever the lower value is. So yes, whenever you spawn a mob, it spawns the HP and experience and all those values. The drops for a mob are determined on the kill, and it will take whatever the lowest player's count was from when that mob has, like, been seen, essentially. So if you change P8 to P1 to P8, it should be P1 still. This way you can't cheese bosses, go in on P1 and then change to players 8 and get players 8 drops. You're just unlucky. Sunders are dropping like candy. And players 1 gives more runes specifically and only for the Countess. It is a one-time only thing. We'll also go ahead and swap to a big boy belt so we can use more potions. Rare Ammy. What's the most fun and strong build? I choose my level as fire, but I want respec. Magic is a very nice and fun build to play through, and one of the nice things about it is you don't really run into immune issues, with the exception of Bale Wave 2. That's the only time you'll have an immunity issue. So I think that's one of the easiest for leveling through because of that. I like it, mister. Okay, see what we got here. 10 to mana. Perfect. And then a little bit of other stuff, a little bit of res. Fire enchanted bosses have a lot of fire res, of course, so we don't really care to kill them. Just focus on killing the minions, because the minions also give 500% experience. Endgame, is it fun and strong too? Yeah, it's still S tier in the endgame. If you're ever wondering, is this build S tier, A tier, in a group, on a solo playthrough, in the end game? Well, I've got all that for you on Icy Veins. I've spent hours and hours and hours, hundreds of hours on all these guides for all of these classes, and including is the PVM tier list, which gives you solo tier list playthrough builds, group tier list of all the A tier, B tier, S tier, and endgame tier list, which gives you all the best S tier, A tier builds and all of those. You can follow any of these through. Go to there. You've got all your stuff. You've got your recommended skills, all the gear for damage, magic find builds, uber builds, budget builds, all that. Can you use the source so you get Center Charm? Center Charms, technically, I believe someone did drop one in Nightmare, but you're not really going to get them in Nightmare. Honestly, the best place I found for getting Sunders was just killing, like, Endariel a bunch and, like, lots of mobs like that, as opposed to killing Heralds. Heralds, I found, were actually not as good for it. I think they still need to fix that and, like, figure out a little bit better. You don't like the magic? That's fair. Well, it has changed since season 13. Season 14, they reworked magic, so there's no longer a cast delay on chains, so you can stack a bunch of chains really fast, and it's a different build than it was before. This is offlineness. Yeah, Heralds, and there's just some wonkiness going on right now with them over there. Now, before we go to level 4, I'm going to change down to players 1. Maybe players 3, actually, because Endariel is weak to fire damage. She has minus 50 fire res, so it does make me more want to let's go Blood Boil. Do that. Okay, so now we can start Blood Boiling. We do have to be a little careful with Blood Boil, to be honest, because we don't have Engorge yet. And Engorge is a very big part of the Blood Boil puzzle because it is the healing piece. So I'm not going to be like crazy Blood Boiling right now. If I do, you know, I'll do Blood Boil, Blood Boil, Blood Boil, Blood Boil. But now you can see they're really low, so I have to resummon them. So right now it's kind of more like resummon if you're Blood Boiling. And then later on it feels a lot nicer once you get a point in Engorge. Man, you really are kind of strapped for points here, because you do want that final, like, demon. It's it's similar to Corpse Explosion, a bit different. Ghost Flame and Aeneas Purge build. Still probably not really. I mean, it's like maybe okay. Is Ohm for any Pally Torch a fair trade? I mean, I'd rather have probably the Paladin Torch, but assuming you're talking like ladder right now. But I don't know. It's really hard to give values anytime within the first week because they're fluctuating constantly. Like every hour or few hours, the values change. Okay, we'll go to players 3 for Endariel. Again, that's just because she's weak to fire. So they should be pretty strong. And I can Blood Boil as well. And resummon. Easy.
And the maiden's anguish waned as he loomed on the verge.
And just like that. Act 1 is done. Nice and easy. Give yourselves a clap. Level 18. Very nice. Gonna head over here. Get some potions. Sure. 10, 10, 5 on resistances with some energy. It's a great helm. Nothing really super good. I'll take 2 energy instead. Chip gems are also good for re-rolling later on. That's why I'm keeping those. And rejuves are just because they're nice to have for like hell in some places in Nightmare. I'll also keep books because we can use books for re-rolling. And I'll show you that a little bit later. Can look for a better belt. 4 to life is technically better, but I don't know if it's that necessary. More vitality. Back to players 8. One more tainted. Good to go. And we want to hit this level 19 so we can get our leaf. And these guys are kind of annoying, but they should get us to 19. Resummon. Perfect. Okay. So let's go back at level 19. And let us hit Tirral in the staff. And remember, you can use it with a 2-hander, which is nice. 3 to fire skills, and then some cold res and map per kill. And again, fire skill and fire skill. So this is a really big boost for us. Gonna boost up all the damages across those guys. I kind of think I'm going to go for the points over here as well now. I'm going to get to the 10 demonic mastery. You understand the design behind some uniques. Some are just bad. Some are designed with the idea of like classic. Before Runewords existed, they were better, you know. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that we do see in the game is kind of due to not having, you know, like this is back in 2000 and not having people that have played the game for 40,000 hours testing and saying, we could improve it like this, and this. Right. So, you know, I think that actually does end up being a big factor. Will they do another pass on those characters? Who knows? Maybe. Oh yeah, that blood boil feeling good now, huh? You feel so undecided. This is the beauty of the Warlock. And again, slightly the unfortunate part for other classes. The Warlock got to be tested by a couple people that have played this game for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. And so with that, we were able to make it have a lot of fun, interesting builds, essentially, is the easiest way to put it. Anytime a build wasn't fun and interesting, we could say, hey, this build isn't working. Let's make it fun. How about this, you know? And so now, I honestly think that is the biggest strength of the Warlock. He just has so many fun builds. His Demon build is fun. His Blood Boil build is fun. His, you know, Echoing Strike is fun. His Cleave is fun. His Magic is fun. His Fire is fun. Like, he's just good. Because all the builds are functional. Because, like, when the Demon started, it was non-functional. It was a terrible playthrough experience. You know? Now it's a really fun one. No way, unadorned. Where's that waypoint supposedly? Maybe just in that little nook? Now, there's still some tweaks to be done on different things and stuff. I don't think it's in the perfect spot. I think they could lower damage in some spots, increase in some others, you know, like whatever. But overall, I think it's got a lot of good variety. And if you take out, you know, old Echoing Strike, which is better now. Okay, nice spot. All right, we'll get our third Tainted. Let's go. Beautiful. Wait, hammer. I don't even know what the hammer is. Never even seen it. Our Tainted OP now. Tainted are very good. Yes, my friend hit 99. He got there. It gives more mod privileges. Oh, I don't need to give that out. Sure, 10 FCR. He was second to a, I mean, I'll say a cheater, an RMT site boosting a character. So, you know, yeah. Nice waypoint. Thoughts in Miasma's endgame? Oh, it's great. It's S tier, very fun. The new Miasma is really fun. Everyone's cheating using JSP and preparing shrines and runs. Well, preparing shrines and runs, I would say, is very different from using JSP. Now, one thing particular with my friend is we didn't do any JSP at all. There was none of that being done. No gifted items and stuff. It was all just like, you know, a group of people pushing and grinding and doing that. Okay. Do I want more in Tainteds or Blood Boil? I think I want to keep going with Tainted, actually. there's kind of two things I would note, having played this last season and not using JSP and just having all that and stuff. Nice. 19 fire res is great. The things I would note are, one, you can definitely have a lot of fun just trading on like Tradery and other trade sites like that. And there is enough use there that you can like shift around and do that stuff. So I do think there is still plenty to be done just trading on those sites. Two, if you do feel like you're gonna just it is the Chinese name, Dark. If you do feel like you're going to use it, I think you can use it in a way that can feel kind of fun, where you can like trade there, but you're only trading there with stuff you've like found that ladder. So you're not, you know, like using previous stuff, right? So I find, you know, like, well, yeah, one, of course, no credit card allowed, but two, even more so, like, oh, okay, I find something and I trade it for 200 forum gold. I can only use 200 to go, like, trade around with, right? Like, you just don't use any previous. And then they're still using it, obviously, but you're using it in a way of like everything is always just going to be like the value that you would have had, just because there are a lot of people there for trades. Overall, you know, you do it how you want. But yeah, doing this last ladder, just trading around with people on Tradery and again other sites, actually worked really nicely and was very fun. I think it was even more fun than anything because, for instance, we were trying to get a lot of like shards. We want a lot of deep shards and stuff. And so we were just making trades with people that was just like, hey, I'll give you these titans for 3 northern shards. And they're like, yeah, sure. You know, like it very much came back to the older trading feel where not everything is a perfect balanced trade. Where it's like, yeah, this is worth 150 and you're giving me 170, so you need to have 20 more. It was just like, what do you need? You need arachnid mesh. I need northern shards. Let's see how many we've got and make the combo. Okay, good enough, right? Like, we both got what we needed. It's good. So that was really the like beauty and fun of it, was you were just making those trades and just trading around items, and sometimes people would offer us, you know, runes that were higher, right? They'd be like, hey, I want your what was a good example? We had like a Sunder Charm and we were wanting an Ohm rune and someone gave us a low rune for it because they didn't have an Ohm. They just had a low. And it was like, okay, sure. Like, yeah, we'll take the low rune. We'll make a Fortitude then instead. You know, so like stuff like that. But then other times we would give away more value. Okay. We went to players 1 right there just because being players 8 in the Maggot Lair is actually okay with this build until you run into like a fire enchant. It can be a little bit slower and annoying. But with I was gonna say echoing, or not echoing. Yeah, with Blood Boil, we have physical damage now, so it actually works out okay. Oh wait, that's right. There's the exit up there. I wish, one of my biggest wishes, besides a charm bag, is that Diablo 2 would have a trading, like, site within the game. That would be so beautiful and amazing. Being able to just put items up, list them, have people go, trade for them, all the stuff. Like PoE has, exactly. Okay, we'll keep going Tainted and Vitality. Right, without the real money piece on it. But yeah, I just think it'd be so fun. Just like Path of Exile has there. Or how PD2 has. But PD2's is on the site, right? I want it in the game.
I can't.
That would be amazing and do so much for trade. You can get to it from game now? Really? But it'll still like take you to the site, right? They don't have a built-in UI, do they? Did I mention it while testing this? Oh yeah, again. I have mentioned 5,000 things to the devs that have not been implemented. The devs are ultimately the developers of this game. Gotcha, okay. But I have given my feedback and mentioned all sorts of goodies like that to them. Now, obviously, something like that requires a lot of coding and testing and all sorts of stuff, so... But I've sent them item updates I would make, skill updates I would make, quality of life features, how I would implement a charm bag, how I would do X, Y, Z. Everything. I've sent everything I could possibly want in this game and how I think it could be good, ways I think it could be bad, blah, blah, blah. Stuff that I don't think should be implemented, but I would still like. Okay, I kind of like 19 fire res more. It's a lot of fire res. How big is the D2R dev team? I mean, it's not that big, right? So they kind of have to focus where they're putting all their attention. A lot of coding. A trading site is what? 4 Claude tokens? Jesus Christ. Ban this person. World's in such a weird place right now, man. Companies giving awards for most tokens used and stuff. Like, so much, just anybody can burn tokens. This guy spent $500,000 this month on tokens. Here's an award. What? Love and honor, thank you. Pope wrote a massive essay on AI, right? Got me siding that with the Pope out here. If they implement trading into their game, I'll never leave for another game. Right? They have like a whole site like that. That would be funny if you used AI to write the essay, though. It's like the early days of programming where you were paid for lines of code. I mean, literally, that's it. All it does is encourage bad coding when you are paid for lines of code. Like, a good coder could write this in 20 lines. A bad coder can write this in 100. Why are we paying someone to write it in 100? Yeah, I'm gonna check out the new PoE League Friday.
Excellent. Yes.
What do you think about MF? Is rank one? Wait, what? What's MF? Oh, I love MF being first Warlock. Yeah, it's great. All I know is this season showed me next season. Maybe I'll go 99 and we're going to crush it. There's so much bad code in the world. Token coaches. Jesus. More vitality.
Hello.
Greetings.
And we'll go for Engorge at 24. Otherwise, we'll just keep going Summon Tainted. Thanks, Turbo. It's like a twisted little corpse explosion. Yeah, essentially. Yeah, I mean, this is feeling really nice. I actually wonder if it'll be better to put the points in Blood Boil. Because you get 20% synergy, which is pretty good. I'll have to look. Just don't tell me we fourth wade. That's all I need to hear. Son of a gun, we fourth wade. Well, plenty of experience. It's actually wild that we are almost level 24, just like going through the arcane here. A lot of times you'll be like 21 or something. We have leveled very well, and this has been pretty easy leveling, which is nice. So now something also to remember with Blood Boil is it does explode around each of your minions. It doesn't stack, So if multiple, of them are exploding at the same time on top of each other, you're only getting one. But if your minions kind of spread out and there's multiple mobs, then you're getting a lot of blood boil coverage. All right, and we'll get the point in Engorge. And now we can start going more into spammy. Because you can go a bunch of blood boil, bang, 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 and then hit one Engorge and heal them back up. And we will continue with Vitality. We're also, like, I am a little slow with it, but we could have a mercenary as well coming along. If we wanted, get an Act 2 mercenary. Probably just Prayer. Seems like the best. Don't really need Blessed Aim that much. 7 light res is okay, but on a Grand Charm, I don't know if I want that much. Put this away. We'll just buy him a random weapon. Do I have an L rune? No. Because I could make a Malice if I did. Alright, we'll just get him this.
I'll put that to good use.
So he can have a little bit of damage. And we want to go to the double down arrow. Now remember, it goes circle, moon, square. This is left to right. Circle, moon, square, sun, double down arrow, triangle, circle over moon. That is from left to right. How to go over 9, thank you.
Over_corn gifted a tier 1 sub to Apple Chips _ the video game.
Thank you very much. And again, you can kind of be more spammy now with your corpse explosion because you can just engorge afterwards and heal. So spam 10 corpse explosions, whatever, blood boils, and then heal once. And then make sure to death mark them around as well, just to get them where you want a little faster. Looks like we have a pretty fast area right here. Beautiful. We'll go down to players 1 before we fight Duriel. And this should be a pretty fast fight, I'm not gonna lie. I imagine this will be very quick. If you feel unsafe, you can get thawing potions for yourself. You can get thawing potions for your mercenary. All that is okay. But this should be very simple. You can always do shift 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever to give a potion to your mercenary. Help him heal a little. And done. Nice and easy. Nice. Dual res with 7 energy. That's fantastic. We'll use that. I do like FCR just because I am casting a lot here, so we're going to hold on to that. I will also go grab a couple stamina potions. Yeah, I mean, we're level 24 with a leaf. Powerful army. So even though Blood Boil itself isn't... Oh, oops, I didn't touch the turret, I guess. Even though Blood Boil itself isn't... that great against bosses, the fire damage from the Tainted is enough.
Good day.
Okay. We are 24, unfortunately, so because of that, I do want to shop a teleport staff, but I can't do it as well because I'm already 24. But essentially, when you get here, you want to find a not +1 to teleport sorceress only, but +1 to teleportation charges. If you're level 23, 19 to 23, it will be red because it's unusable, so you can only look at the red ones. Otherwise, for us, we have to look at all of them because we are 24, so now it's usable. I can also use the chip gems to try and hit it, which is why we grabbed this. So we can look for some cheap staves. And this is how this works. You put 3 gems in there, and now 3 to fireball. That'll sell for good money. Nova charges, but plus to Frost Nova and Nova, that'll sell for good money. So now we're getting money, as well as potential chances to hit teleportation charges. It's not crazy often you do, but it's possible. Let's find cheapos. Thanks, Mark. Okay, roll a couple more.
Greetings.
4 mana per kill. That's not worth anything. We'll re-roll it. That is worth plenty of money. We can save that. And 517. Nope. Okay. So didn't hit it, but we did hit some good money there. Should be like 40 to 45 grand in staves that we have, which helps us for selling to try and buy one in the future. There we go. So just looking for teleportation charges. This is actually beautiful. It has no other mods on it, and it has lightning resist. Great, great, great find. We'll put that on our offhand, and now we have teleportation charges just to help out with, a lot of times it's just useful for escaping in certain bad scenarios or for jumping across, you know, like spaces that would take a long time to run around. So just something you can easily use to speed up a little bit. Mosaic is usable in non-ladder. I'm trying to think if you can actually craft it there, or if it's just the ones that have ported over. I feel like you can build it. Okay. So for instance, right here is a great place to use the teleportation charge as opposed to spending all the time. You know, more points actually will be good in Blood Boil because the base radius will increase with more points. So that will be useful. So I think I will start putting some points there. How do you reset the telecharges? You can repair them. You can either just repair them at a repairing vendor. They are a little expensive. So they cost like a little over 2 grand per use. So you got to be careful just spamming them out. Or you can use an Ort Rune and a Chip Gem and a Cube, and that will do a repair of them. You can make Mosaic in single player as well. Okay, Great Marsh on the 5. You know, I actually think we have a skip with a Flare Jungle on the 5, right? We'll set a TP, but I think we have a skip. Yeah, so this actually does increase our radius, and again increases the base damage. Is this build or fire better for ladder start? Fire is going to be a little bit stronger. This build is still good though. And still very fun. So, I mean, I do recommend it. Oh wow, it just goes up to a dead end, huh? Unless this is going to kick right for us. I don't think so though. Darn, darn, darn. Unfortunate. This is also a safe, very safe build. Yeah, I mean, you have 3 demons that you can teleport wherever you want, so you can put them, you know, in the way. I'm entering hell with Miasma. Is it worth considering switching to this build? I mean, the thing is, Miasma is very powerful. And so you're going to be plenty strong with Miasma. So I don't feel like you need to make the switch. However, this build is good. Like, it is good. In Hell, you are going to have fire immunes that you have to deal with a little bit more. So that'll be a little bit annoying. Blood Boil does have physical, though, so you can still kill them. We'll see how this does when we get to Hell. Right? We're kind of going to just, like, play along, so we'll see soon enough. But Miasma's, you know, will this be faster than Miasma in Hell? I don't know about that. Miasma is one of the fastest builds, but it's an alternative, and again, could be a little safer. So just work our way through the Great Marsh. More vitality. Make sure we're players 8. And just try and get all this juicy experience. Flare Jungle is a nice leveling spot as well. Swampy. Swamp of Florida. We're cooking, man. It's playing great.
What a relic.
Let's go get a ring.
Almost might know what purpose it could serve.
Wow. It's hard to ask for much worse than that. That definitely goes up there in like top 5 worst rings from Ormus. 2 to strength. Poison length reduce. And charge bolt charges. Woof. Yeah, that magic ring did him no good either. That ain't doing anybody any good. Tell you what. Makes sense. Can also be good to just pick up things like rings, ammies, bone ones, U ones. All these have the potential to just have good money. So if you're wanting to pick up a little bit of extra cash. I mean, I'd rather have +1 magic find than any of those stats.
I can't.
Nice and easy. Hit level 26. So let's take a look at the damage really fast of what would happen. So we go, this would go up to 108 to 148. Now it goes 112 to 152. So Blood Boil actually is ending up being even more damage in this moment. Plus we're slowly working towards additional radius. There's one more radius of 7 yards that we can get to for it. The Tyrian over there, the Chip Gem there. Keep going. I find with my 74 Necro, the Mercy, then Psychic and Yarn build up. Yes, I think yeah, I mean, that's solid. I assume you mean Pindleskin. Just being Act 5 is a great way to build your army for Summon Necro. I kind of wish armies persisted between games, though. You know? Like, that's one of the biggest problems with summoners is Diablo 2 is very much about, like, farming, right? You like do Andy runs every 30 seconds, a new Andy run every whatever, and you just don't get to do any of that. I'm actually gonna go strength just a tiny bit. I don't know if I really want Spirit, though. I mean, Spirit's one less skill there. I guess it's enough because we are getting more points in, like, Blood Oath and Demonic Mastery and stuff. So I guess Spirit would be good here. And if I run Spirit, then I could run a shield, so I could run, like, Ancient's Pledge instead of having to use, like, Rhyme in a book or something. So maybe I'll still want Spirit later. I mean, I guess that's true. Now you can terrorize an entire act and use the whole thing. So it's like okay still. There's a lot of things I could do to improve, like, Necro summons. Those are actually really nice, but ethereal, and we actually have nice gloves. Okay, let's do Serena. This is also a great place for leveling if you feel like you need to pick up a couple levels. Battle Maid Serena can be really nice, mixed in with like Flare Jungle. Check out the Codex. 10 all res. Yeah. Seems good enough to me.
Impossible.
Yeah, I think so as well. And okay, let's go to the sewers. Fire enchant, we'll go. Strongest Warlock. I mean, Echoing Strike, Magic, Fire, and Blood Boil, I think, are all top contenders. Honestly, it's hard to say if one is better than the other in the very end. I think there's really 4 just solid builds, and then still some solid builds after that. I think you can have a good time with Cleave. I think you can have a good time with a physical Echoing Strike. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Will there be a written guide for this leveling build? Generally, I don't have written guides for like every leveling build. Maybe that could be a thing I do in the future. Those are usually just all in the video. But yeah, I mean, making a table wouldn't be the worst thing out of all of it. Take a little time, but considering starting a new offline character. So you play players 8. How again do I get a safe left one run the map again and again? It just automatically saves. In offline, it just saves itself. Fire into magic is going to be the best leveling. But like, this is doing just fine, you know. But exclamation mark guides, go to Warlock, fastest leveling Warlock, and I have a written guide that gives you like the step-by-step breakdown for all of it. I want your job. Is this what I do full time? This is my full-time job. If you want it, come take it. That's not like a threat. Like, start streaming. See if you actually want the streamer life. Okay, yeah. So we'll start going a little bit up in strength. Try to go up to around like 45, 43, 48. Like broadswords are 48 strength. Crystal swords are 43 strength. Long swords are a little bit more expensive and a little bit more annoying. So we'll just pump up to around 45 for now. And we'll just keep going into Blood Boil for now. Get rid of all the trash. 16 cold res with half freeze is nice, but I do like the FCR. So go ahead and just trash it.
This is
And let's... Okay. And we've got all that. I will take a little fire res on a small charm. Let's go to Travancore. there's a lot of jobs that are the fun part. It's always easy to look at the fun parts of jobs. You know, you're like, wow, it'd be so cool to be a professional golfer. You just get to play golf all the time. But then you're like, you're constantly traveling. You're away from your family all the time. You're like having to practice nonstop. You know, like, yeah, there's probably actually a lot of meh parts about it. But also, it could be really nice. I mean, good and bad to all the jobs, you know. This is Players 8 Travancore, by the way. Crushing it. So, we're very powerful. We're also level 27, which is very high for Act 3 here. We've just been killing a lot of stuff. Will I post guides for other classes at some point? I mean, I've got guides for every class. I have like 50 guides. Alright, we'll go players 1. I guess we can say players 8. Players 1 for level 3. Exactly, Shirty. Every job has the job part of it that sucks. But if you don't mind that part, you can stomach that part, then you might enjoy that job a lot more. I mean, that's such a hard question to answer, Random, because it really varies with community and how much you're streaming. But I think you could do that with like 100 or something if you're putting in hours. When's the next MVS? Speaking of parts that suck. True. Yeah, I've seen all sorts of stuff, which is why I say it's difficult to give an answer. I've seen people that stream to 100 viewers making 70 grand a year, and I've seen people that stream to 100 viewers making 10 grand a year. Like, it's so broad because so much of it shifts. I will say players 1 for Act 4. Just a lot of fire immunes or high fire res and stuff here. How much they're grinding, right? Are they streaming a ton? Are they doing constant like sponsorships with different games? What is the content they're doing? What's the age of their audience? Do they have, you know, some whales? Are they like doing a lot of stuff for the whales in their community? Or are they just like, you know, sitting there playing a game quietly to 100 people watching and not really engaging and not having much interaction? Like, it's all over the board, all the stuff. Which is one of the nice but also not nice things about streaming is, you know, you can make more, but you can also make a lot less, and effort can be rewarded or it can suck. I don't feel like I do enough, personally. But there's also people who, like, will, you know, spend all of their waking hours responding to these people. Right? I've seen those streamers as well. They're available 24/7 whenever any of their, donators messages them, they're on there chatting with them. They're talking to them on Discord. They're playing games with them off stream. They're doing all sorts of whatever stuff.
I can't. Impossible.
Like, they're exhausting themselves doing all this extra, so. Enough is relative. You have power in your house and food in the fridge. That's still a lot. It's true, I do. And, I think it definitely was easier before I had a family, right? I've got 2 little girls. Oh my god, binary. And Moo Girl and stuff. So, like, yeah, a lot of my time gets spent with them, off stream now instead of working on more stream things and stuff, right? So you always got to find your own balance and see what's working well for you. Thanks, Bax. I wouldn't say I'm the most humble streamer. I'm sure there's a streamer more humble than I am, but good to try and at least practice some humility. Did I name them after D2 characters? No. Their names are Lilith and Indariel. Okay, maybe. Look, that was a coincidence. Okay. Those are the names I wanted to name my daughters when I was 6 years old, before Diablo even came out. Pure coincidence. Okay, I'm also going to go get my mercenary a pike now, just because pikes are a lot higher damage.
I'll put that to good use.
Just make them a little bit tankier. We can also look at some armors. Nothing worth it. We'll pick something up for him. Yeah, the bots are annoying for sure. I wish that they would do even more about them. Bax with 5 gifted subs. GG. Thanks so much, Bax. Very sweet of you. What would be boys' names? Well, I'd always picked out the name Deckard for a son, ever since I was a wee little boy. And Lazarus as well. And if I had 3 boys, maybe an Emilio in there. But that was from A Night at the Roxbury. Okay, that was a different reference back then. Thanks, Bax. I hope so. I hope that helped influence in some way. I was like, these Tainteds are so nice. Let's see the axe. Yeah, it's got a little bit extra stuff. A little bit better. give him a random scale mail as well. Deathmark is so nice. All the other summon builds are so sad that they don't have that. Such a useful skill. I wonder if Deathmark should be an O skill on an item so other summons can have it. Make sure we're players 1. Pretty good actually for Diablo kill speed. Now we're gonna have to keep resummoning, of course, because we can't blood boil through. But it worked. GG. And you could also add your own skill for each one, but just having it on an O skill on like something easy. A new low-level rune word that has it as an O skill, so all summons have access to it, could be super nice. Ooh, 5 all-res large charm. Yes, please, Papa. Perfect. Another level. We'll continue with Blood Boil. And we'll go a little more strength. Again, just getting up to like 45 strength here for now. And now that we're in Act 5, we're going to start looking for long swords, broadswords, and crystal swords that are either ethereal or white. So we can socket them for 4 sockets. And it does matter the level of where you find them and stuff, which is why I waited till Act 5. And then we can make a spirit in that later on. Should I just be as a passive to all summon skills and make another ability for the lock? I mean, I kind of like it being a Warlock ability that gets like moved over, you know, in an O skill form. That's kind of how a lot of Diablo 2 functions. Oh, you have, you know, CTA, so you get that. You have Enigma, so everybody gets it. It's not like everybody gets teleport. Diablo 2 kind of does it where it's like, yeah, there's this ability, but now through some item or, you know, O skill there. The downside is it does make it more required, so you'll see summon builds. But the thing is, you don't need Deathmark once you get teleport. So once you get your teleport, Deathmark becomes irrelevant again. So I think it does fit nicely on a rune word that would just be like, trying to think what you would even put it in. Maybe a shield or something. A helm, a shield, or you could put it on a body armor if you want. Yeah, maybe a body armor, like a summon body armor. Good. Okay, we'll go up to players 8. Don't think I've seen any swords. And this can be a fantastic place to level as well. Well, a lot of Necro versus Necro. I guess I get what you're saying. Yeah, you just Deathmark them with. Interesting. So you can always just level right here. But nobody would change Enigma for it, so that's why it wouldn't be like that bad. Now, would it be really good early on? Yes. So low-level dueling would get like massacred by it, I suppose.
I can't carry anymore.
So yeah, you can level up there if you would like. And you can level into your mid-30s. No problemo. There's a broadsword, perfect. So this will get 4 sockets. So we can save that for a spirit. And again, it does drop 1 skill off of these 2 that we like. However, it is going to boost up all the other summon skills of Demonic Mastery and Blood Oath and Engorge, Deathmark, etc. So it will have some added value. Plus, we get the FCR, we get the Vitality, we get the mana, we get hit recovery. Like, all the other added benefits, I think, are enough to weigh out. Uber Ancients hit hard. Yeah. Their Uber Ancients are crazy strong. Probably my favorite change of all the change stuff they did was because Uber Ancients were like super easy. They were ridiculously easy. Oh wow, did I not even save the barbs there? Did I see them but not save them? Oh, that's annoying. Alright, we'll just leave it TP. And they just went and overclocked them, and now they're crazy hard, and it's great. Like, you have to actually put in some effort to them. You can't just, like, cheese them with super easy stuff. But they're still possible. It's not like they're impossible. It just takes some work. I love that Meng Song's lesson at least is exciting to find again, like, and usable. So, you know, it's nice that, like, some things did get a little life. Get that door, buddy. And the Warlock Grimoires are really exciting. Yeah, there's a lot of, like... There are exciting uniques, and they have expanded some, but there's still many that are not exciting. You just passed through hell. What build should I choose for my Warlock? Again, I would say Fire Warlock, Magic Warlock, Blood Boil Warlock, and Hex Purge Echoing Strike Warlock are all very strong and very fun. I recommend any of those if you want, like, S tier ones. Otherwise, Cleave is also fun and just slightly worse, but still very good. I actually really enjoyed playing Cleave. Cleave is the build I tested the most when I was playing through. 10% Magic Find is actually a decent amount of Magic Find. However, I don't really want to drop the rings that I have, so we'll trash it. Found an Athar's Diablo, still sold for Johnny's. Still plenty of leg, you know, room on those puppies. It'd be fun random. Yeah, Tyrael's Might could be boosted. Even if you gave it teleport, I don't think it would, like, still be better than Enigma, which is hilarious. Like, you'd have to give it teleport and something. Or 2 things. Pretty crazy. But With the res on it and stuff and cannot be frozen, it could at least kind of maybe be an alternative. He's crazy. Saigons. Bring back bug towels. Oh god, no. So good. All builds are for season 14 are updated in Icy Veins? Yes. Every build on Icy Veins is updated for season 14. Not just Warlock, should be every build. Do you plan any challenges like magic find only gear or anything for Warlock? Oh, we could. We've done plenty of those, but we can always do them for Warlock too. True backs.
Salutations.
Two skills. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I guess just keep blood boiling. Perfect. So now we have 7 radius for our blood boil, which is really nice. And we need 3 more strength to use the broadsword. So we're good there. Now everything else can go to vitality. Oh yeah, for sure, Bex. What changed with Blood Boil in the latest patch? They fixed it. Well, the synergy to Tainted. They also did nerf slightly the radius on it. But Tainteds now are just like so good with it that it really helps the build overall. Okay, so level 30, we'll head over to Ancients. Mosaic still nerfed? I mean, Mosaic is removed while it's being reworked, yeah. Bum, 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 bum. There's a longsword, which again would also be good for a spirit, but broadsword's just better. This is offline. Okay. We'll go down to players 1 for Ancients. Blood boil a little bit. Heal our mercenary up some. Again, we can't engorge here, which is slightly annoying, but we can always just resummon. Pretty easy overall. Pretty easy fight. Okay, now that we have Blood Boil, a little bit like maxed-ish, whatever there, I'm going to continue with points into summon Tainted. Just because I feel like even though it's a Blood Boil build, and we could be going harder on Blood Boil and then like the passives of Blood Boil, I feel like the Tainteds are really just so much of the great damage from this build. Yeah, they're just so good. I've got a leaf in here. And we'll go back up to player's 8 actually. We can also grab the waypoint here. This might not be a waypoint. Oh, it does, okay. We've done some like no-hit run pieces with it. It's wild. It's kind of hard because there's auras, so like Holy Fire and Holy Shock and stuff can just proc. Also, there's many times where you just go downstairs and there can just be mobs waiting right there for you to hit you. So I do lowest hit runs. I don't actually think you can do no hit just because there's times where you just will die and there's nothing you can do to stop it. You're just gonna get hit, I mean. How's this build compared to Blizzard Source? I mean, pretty good actually. And Blizzard Source is very good, but like, this does well. Let's see it. 4 to strength. No, thank you. Yeah, let's keep going with the Tainteds. Let's get these bad boys up. Some big damage from them. Dealing with player 8 death boards pretty well. There's also a longsword. Yeah, we should be okay on player's 8 here still. Now, one trick for Bale Waves is you can actually put yourself up here. And if you are standing closer to Bale here, Bale will decrepify you and not your minions. So, what's the point of healing demons? Can't you just respawn them? Sure, but respawning can just be like more annoying. A quick heal can just be bang, one heal, you know. And Gorge also does give them a small buff as well. No, Mercenary. Hydras are just too good against Mercenaries, man. Okay, more Vitality. More Tainteds. That would be kind of funny, big one. Let's go get more mana. And our mercenary, why not? Though he'll probably die, but We'll grab our runes while we're there. Throw him up. Can get annoying, Doug. For sure. So yeah, they get some lifesteal, some PDR, some attack speed. Oh god. Alright. Lister, too much fire reds. We gave it a try. We're not that powerful. We could very slowly kill Lister, but it'll be better to just drag. So if you ever don't want to fight a wave, you can just drag him out like that. What is the other play? Is that replay? Yes.
Moo.
Oof. Brutal. Thanks, XX. That is Mr. Llama VOD. You can hang out in Mr. Llama VOD even while you're right here. Twitch allows you to watch 2 streams at the same time. And it's a great way to support the stream twice. Do you recommend I engorge my defilers as a yes? Sure. I mean, you can always recast them or you can engorge them, kind of. Pick which one you want. So yeah, we just have a 24/7 VOD channel that runs. And it's a great way to support the stream. Just have that on while you're awake, while you're asleep. All the good stuff. Plus, we do giveaways over there as well, so you can win $100 Steam gift cards and such. Just hanging out. Nice and easy. Speaking of nice and easy, how about that? This is not the level build on the guide site. This is just a different one. Some Frosties. Don't really need them, but
I am overburdened.
not shabby. Act 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all done. I can't use that quite yet, but that's nice. Required level 37, so I'll need a little bit more time on it. Let's go ahead and grab these. Perfect Frosties. Go to the Charsies. Save Anya. Grab our book. Nothing really for us there. We can trash it, repair. I think we're ready to roll into Nightmare.